So is my screen visible?
Yes.
Okay. So hi everyone. Today I am going to discuss about data validation. So what are the what is data validation? Why we do data validation, and how we do it? Why it is important? This kind of thing we will discuss in this presentation. So uh, uh, I'm going to start this. So first of all, what is data validation? So data validation is the process of ensuring the quality and accuracy of data. So what does that mean? Like if we have to insert some data in some system, or we want to we have to migrate the data to some other system. So we have to ensure that the quality and the accuracy of the data should be as per our requirement. For example, if you are filling some form on the on some site, or some for some admission purpose, and in the name field you are writing some numbers, or in the roll number, or like in the marks field you are writing some characters. So that kind of thing, if a system will not validate the data before entering into the database, so uh, the garbage data will be created, and the quality of the system uh, will not be good. So that's why data validation is required, that which kind of data we required, and which kind of data it is accepting. Like if in exam or in the result form, if someone is filling that the percentage of some student is 110 or 200%, so it is not possible. So system should restrict that data to be entered. So that is called data validation. So before entering into the system, data should be validated. It is done after the entering the system also, but yeah, before inserting in the system, we need to do the validation on the data. So it is implemented by several checks into the system. So we put some checks on the data which is entering, which is being entered in some field, and then accordingly we do the data validations. Yeah. So next is why data validation. Why data validation is important. So data validation provides accuracy, cleanliness, completeness of data set by eliminating data errors from any project to ensure the data is not corrupted. So it is needed to be done before the data is used for a business operation. So for example, we can say if we are going to an ATM, and ATM contains only the minimum currency note is 100 rupees. In generally, it is in all the ATMs, like minimum currency is 100, multiple of 100. So they have to put the validation that you have to enter the data in like the amount in multiple of 100 only. If you will enter like I want to withdraw 1050, system will not validate, like system will validate the data, and it will say that it is incorrect data. So it has to be validated before entering into some system. So in the same manner, for every system we need to do validate data validation to so that the data should not be corrupted. As I have given the example in the previous slide, that if some teacher is entering the percentage, or like if the examination highest score is 500, 500 marks. So if a teacher is entering the data of the data of the students of the class, so the system should validate the data that she or he should not be able to enter the data more than 500, like so that they cannot enter 600 or 700 marks if the highest score is 500. So this validation should be there, otherwise the data will be corrupted on the system, and the quality of the product or the system will not be as per the requirements. So that's why we say that effective validation contributes substantially to assuring a quality product, because validation is required, otherwise we will have the corrupted data and garbage data that will be create a big problem. Yeah, so if we'll talk about type of validation, so we can divide broadly in these type of validation. There are multiple validations required as per the requirement, but yeah, these are the basics and broadly classified data validation. So we can
Rita,
say, yes,
can you please go back to the previous slide?
okay.
Accuracy, cleanliness, and completeness. So can you please describe these terms one at a time? What is accuracy, what is cleanliness, and what is completeness of a data set?
Yeah, okay. So accuracy means we can say data should be accurate. Accurate means if you had to enter your name, so you have to write Rahul Kumar Kuthari. There should not be any numbers like R1, H3, 4. This type of data should not be there in the name field.
Okay.
And if you are entering your age, it should be number only. It should not be like you are writing some character G, H.
Okay.
That will not be accurate. So
Mhm.
that kind of validation must be there in the system when you are filling some form. And generally you see in every form, you can't write these kind of uh, things. Like in the name, you can't enter the numbers, otherwise it will give the error. So that's the data validation. So we have data validation in all kind of systems. Cleanliness is the almost same. So if data will not be accurate, it will not be clean. So if like it will be mixture of, the name will be the mixture of all the number, characters, special characters, so data will not be clean. Some garbage value will be there. You can enter anything, then the data will not be clean. Like the special characters will be there, the in the character field numbers will be there, number field characters will be there. Data will be like messy data, it will not be clean. So they are almost related terms. Completeness is same. Like if completeness, we can say, we can find some validation like for example, for the decimal values, if there are some dollar or rupees of the transaction, so we have for the some requirement, we have to enter like two time after decimal, two digit is required for some transactions. So we have to validate that data if we are putting all the two digit or not. For example, in ATM, some ATMs are having decimal already there. So when we enter the number, so then it start from the decimal only. So like completeness as per the require like as per the database system requirement. Like if you want 8 digit of something, or you want 10 like phone number, it should be of 10 digits. So completeness of data, like you can't enter 8 digit of phone number, it will give you error. So data should be completed as per the system's requirement.
But is it not the same as the accuracy?
That's what I am saying. Like almost these are the similar things. So we can, like in the context basis, sometimes you can say it is accuracy, it is cleanliness, because data is not clean, then it will not be accurate. So if you are entering special characters in your name, so it is like we can say it is data is not clean, but it is accurate or not. How will we decide? Maybe someone has a special character in their name, but this is not possible. So in generally we have our system like that. In the name there should not be special character. So we will it will come in accuracy part also, that it is not accurate. So these are more or less similar terms.
Okay. Okay, fine.
Okay. Okay, 1 minute.
Okay, you can continue.
I'm going, but there's some problem in the slide. Okay. Okay. So type of data validation. So we have some few types of data validation. For example, data type check, code check, range check, format check, consistency check, uniqueness check. So these are the basic checks, or we can say broadly classified checks. Otherwise, in data validation, as per your requirement, you have to validate the data. So we will discuss about these basic checks in this slide, in this presentation. So if we go, so if we will talk about data type check. Data type check means it confirms that the data entered has correct type of data. So as I have given the example, name cannot contain numeric value, age cannot contain like character value, it should be only numeric. There should not be special character on this. So these kind of data type checks are um, uh, like this comes under the data type check. So if you are entering some balance in the bank withdrawal form, it should be only numeric. There should not be any character. So that is data type check. Now we'll talk about code check. Code check means generally we have a like it ensures that a field is selected from a valid list of values or follows certain formatting rules. For example, so we have a country codes in some forms. So you have like for United States you will have USA. For India you will have IN. This kind of state codes are there in the list. So you, if you are you want user to enter the codes, then you have to ensure that user is entering the correct code. Like for India, if you have decided that the code for India is IN, so it should be entered as IN only. So it cannot be ID or IA. So that kind of validation we have to do before accepting the data in our system. Otherwise, it will create a corrupted data, because someone will enter IA, someone will enter IN, someone will do ID. So how will you identify that what is the user is belonging to India? So everyone has the different code, so you cannot identify. So same as airport has specific codes. So that code, only that code to be entered in the system. Apart from any apart from that code, you can't enter any other character of the code. So that kind of validation is required if you want the data from some list of values. Yeah, next is rain check. So rain check is like we if we have some predefined range, so we have to check the range. So for example, in some geographic data collection, so we if we want latitude or longitude for some place, so the value should be between -90 to 90. So we cannot allow the user to enter more than that range. Or for example, you want someone to enter the age, so it cannot be more than 100 or 150, whatever you are thinking. So like for bank or for like some voting purpose, you will mention that range should be between 18 to 100. System must not allow below 18, and upper more than 100 or 110, whatever it is. So this kind of range check we have to do in on our are the which like that kind of fill in which um, range value should be under some specific range. So that is also a type of data validation.
Richa,
Yes.
can you please go back to the previous slide? I think
Range.
you have written a latitude value cannot be between -90 to +90.
Oh, sorry. Okay. Yeah,
But
this is
when,
the typo
yeah.
mistake.
Okay, fine.
Can be between, only between.
Okay, can only be between -90 to +90. Fine.
Yes,
Okay.
yes.
Okay.
So next, okay, this is the previous one. So next, we will talk about format check. So format check means there are some predefined format we have for our system or our software. For example, some date format, like if you are you have to enter date of birth. So in your system, if it is you are storing the format in DD, MM, YY. So you have to put a validation on your input form only, that user must enter in the same format, DD, MM, YY. So it will not allow in some other format. So there can be multiple format like my mmddyyy, ddmonyyy. So these kind of format we have already in our system, that our system is accepting the data in this format. So this only that format can be accepted from the user. So we have to put a data validation on that field. So that called format check. Next is consistency check. So consistency check is the it is a logical check that confirms the data is being entered in a logical consistency way. So there are some consistency should be there in some fields, so we have to check. For example, delivery data must be after shopping date. Delivery date, I mean, so delivery date must be after shopping date if you are doing some shopping. So in that delivery date will be like after shopping date or after today's date. And for example, if there is some like birth date and death date of some person, so it should be like death date should be after, must be after birth date. So this kind of consistency should be there. So that's why we have to uh, check we have to apply that consistency check in our data. So that it cannot be it cannot be like opposite. Someone is putting like that date before that before birth date. It is not like it should not be the case there. Next is uniqueness check. So uniqueness means some data, we have some data like email address, phone numbers, some IDs, which should be unique for everyone. So their nature is like unique. They must be unique. So we have to check that there are some uh, that uniqueness is there or not. So this is also a data validation check. So now the next, how we do that data validation. So there are many tools. So which are the basic tools for data validation? So generally we in our normal software system, we can write the code in our forms only. Otherwise, if we are only taking the data, so there are multiple tools like MS Excel, Informatica, SQL, Glue, Data Brew, Open Refine, and many more. Many tools are there to validate the data. So their utility are different. For example, in MS Excel, you are taking the data in Excel, then you have to do data validation in Excel. So in there are multiple things, multiple options available in Excel to validate the data. And Informatica, generally if we are migrating our system to some other system, for example, our database is Oracle and we are migrating in some other database or big data. So that migration should like after in that migration also we are entering the data in some other system. So Informatica comes into the picture. It validates and it migrates and validates the data. I mean, validates and then migrates the data to other system. So that is also a tool to validate the data. So these are only few tools I have written here. There are multiple tools available. So of the data validation. So we can just discuss about data validation on Excel. So I will show some few options in data validation, how we do it on Excel. So this will give you some idea, like basic idea to do how we do it in Excel. This is a basic and very simple validation which we can do. So let me start. Let me open our Excel. Yeah, so this is an Excel in which we have taken the name is R1, R2, N1, N2. There are 4 person. So we have to enter the marks in percentage. So in marks field we can say like someone like the whoever is giving the entry. So if the highest score of that exam is like 400, so there should be a validation that marks should not exceed 400, the value 400. So what we can do in this marks field, we can click on the whole field and there is an option to 1 minute. Oh, sorry, I was on mute. I'm just asking that I need to press the like click on the option of this Excel, but there's the options of Zoom is coming, like participant, chat, and new share. That bar is coming, so I cannot click on the next option on that Excel. So do you have any idea how to remove that bar, that title bar kind of thing?
And what is the exact problem?
Yeah, now it is resolved. Actually, I was not able to click on the next options of that.
Options means the new bar was not coming.
Yeah, now it is coming. So yeah, there's you can see that data is there. So we'll go to data validation. Here is data validation is the option. We'll go there. We will select a whole number here. So it is asking the date range. So you can write between, or you can write equal to, not equal to, greater than, less than. So if we will write like less than or equal to 400, so it will not allow the any person to enter more than 400. So if I'll write 100, it will allow me, but if I'll write 500, it will give a error. This value doesn't match the data validation restriction defined for the cell. So this is the generic message which Microsoft Excel is giving. But if you want to enter an input message, there is option to uh, enter the custom input message for that marks also. So that kind of basic validation, like system will not allow you to enter the value beyond the given range.
Richa,
Yes.
can you show how it is done? How can we insert custom message?
Yeah, that is we have to go to different I need to check. Yeah, there is input message.
Oh,
We have to write something here. Let me try, because I have not done that. I just have idea we can write uh, data validation input message. What will be the title?
error message.
Okay. Let me. It is already coming. We have to do something else also.
Okay.
I need to do error alert. Maybe this is that. Yeah, that is it. Yeah, this is right.
Okay, great.
Yeah, so I can remove that one. This is for something else.
You can
Normal.
just tick off the mark. Show input message when, yeah, this one.
Yeah, so that means if you want every time you want you want to say that enter values, enter values below 400. So every time it will be displayed on this cell. So whenever you will click on that, it will show enter values below 400. Then also if you will not entering below 400, then it will give the error. So we can do this type of validation. So for every cell it will show that, but I have not applied it for all the cells. If I'll apply for all the cells, so every time you will select to any cell, it will say that enter value below 400. So it will give you, and you write any, you can write any input message. Then error message will come when and you will enter some invalid value. So that was the difference on that input message and error values. So we can put another also For example, in percentage, if we want to, um, we want to values, decimal values, like for example, less than. So we can say it is
100.
it should be less than 100, or we can write
Less than or equal to.
yes. So 100.00. So it will allow two decimal places. So now, like I will give 99.99. It will allow. If I'll give 101, it will not allow. If I'll write like 100, for example, 89.999, it will, okay, it will allow because it is less than. So this kind of basic validation we can do in our Excel. This is for only for creation of a range and some like less than, greater than. Now I can show that sometimes we have some list, like we have to select only some list values. For example, the code check is there. So I have another Excel also. I have just written that name for list. So this is another example I can like we can discuss about the data validation. So there are some name of we can say employees, N1, N2, N3, N2, N6. So there are some grades. So in that organization we can say, and some designation. So we want that grade should be in this list only A, B, C, or A, B, C is very simple. If I will write some ATOP, like I don't know what is that, but this
Assistant professor, associate professor, and professor.
yeah. But that is designation also like that.
Oh, okay. Okay, then grade scale 10, 11, 12.
Okay, no, I'm just writing some complicated things so that like if someone will enter manually, they can make a mistake.
Okay.
So for example, this is like that. So AS, BP, CG, this kind of grade is there. So if someone will enter, there is a chance they will like it, right? AP. So we will not take a risk, like or someone can enter some other value like JK. It will allow. So that will be garbage data for a system because they have only 3 grades. So
But
we want.
then I have a question. So can you not allow only the down drop menu that the user or the person who is inputting the data has to select something from the down drop menu? Then you don't have to do all that.
That's what I'm creating. You are saying the drop down value. Yeah. So we have to create that one only. So I'm showing that how to create that.
Okay.
So we will select this. We'll go to that where is it? Data, and there's a data validation. So here we will select the list, and now the source we can in the source we can select these value. Now if you will apply this, now if you'll go to it, it will show you that drop down. Now you can select only from this drop down. It will not accept any other data. And if you'll see that here is also this drop down coming, you can remove it by clicking on the data validation, and for this you will clear. Okay, only for this you will clear. Okay, so now okay, it is clear for all. Sorry, I'll show it again. This is a list. In the source you will create this. So it is created for all of. Now for the top the header part, I can remove the data validation. I have to select. Okay, yeah, clear all. Okay, so now it is coming only in the cell values. In the header part it is not coming. So this kind of data validation you can create. In the same manner you can create a designation. We will create a list for all these designations. So the same manner, so only these designation will come there. So there cannot be any spelling mistake or any other value we cannot enter in this. In the source we will like that. Okay, so now the designation will come on the just drop down only. So this is also a basic data validation. So user cannot enter some other values in our system. So designation should will be only these only. User cannot enter any other designation, or any spelling mistake or typo error cannot be there. So this is also a data validation. um, so one more I will show. So that is a hierarchy. So if if you're seeing like if you'll select a country for someone, some person, so by default the state of that country will come, or some like hierarchy is there, like when you will select a state, then the district of that state will come. So that kind of hierarchy we want to create. So there is a name in the country. So I have written the country name, like in my country list there are three countries: India, USA, South Africa. And for India there are four states: Rajasthan, Bihar, Gujarat, Punjab. For USA there are three states, and for South Africa there are three states. So if someone select that country India, so in the state part these four states should come. If someone is selecting US, these four states should come. So so there are multiple ways. So one way is to create a list for all these differently, and then we can write a function. But I am telling you the efficient and shorter way, so in which we will select the whole thing, and we will give it a name. So in so well I'm showing you name manager. Sorry, create. I will show create from selection. So in this, the top row, so the top row will be name. That means here, if I'll check the country name list, it will show this. The top is India. If I'll select India, so the name of this list is India. If I'll select South Africa, the name of this list is South Africa. If I'll select USA, the name of this list is USA. So I have given all these lists. So I have given a name to all these lists, and I have chosen the name as the top row of these list. So I have written the top row is like India, USA, and South Africa, the same as I have given in the country. So now I have four lists. One is the name of country, other is India, third is USA, and fourth is South Africa. So like before this example, we have created a list, but we have not given the name of that list. We have just selected the range from this cell to this cell. Now I have given the name of this list. So now what we can do, we'll go to country, and in the same way we'll go to data validation. We'll select list. Now here we have the name of the country, like name of the list. So I can write equal to COU, the same name which I have given. COUNRTY. Okay, I have written in wrong spelling. So now it will show India, USA, South Africa. There is one blank value is also coming because I have selected this whole one. So the blank, this one is also coming. We can remove it later. So now you can select India, US. So now we want in the state, only the state of India should come. And like user cannot select any other state other than like apart from these four. So what will we do? We will select it, data validation, and we will go to list. Here there is a function indirect. We will use that indirect function, and that is B1. B1 is that this list. So it will take from this list, and the indirect will be the function will show this list, like list of that B columns header. Okay, there's something. What happened? Okay, it is coming right. Why it was giving error? So now we can check India. Here, state of India are coming: Rajasthan, Bihar, Gujarat, Punjab. You can select anyone. If you will go to USA, the state of USA are coming. Now, if you will select South Africa, okay, then a state of
Richa, your spelling is wrong of South Africa. In I1 column, that should be IFRICA.
Okay, yeah,
That's why
that
it's
is not
giving an
coming.
error.
Yeah.
And will it matter if you use capital letters or small letters? Because in F4 you have used all caps and these are small letters.
I think that because the list was created with this name, South AFRI, because we can say see the list. And now, like if I'll select the South Africa in capital, it is not finding any list here. So that's why it is
Mhm,
not coming. Yeah, you're
mhm,
correct. So that means this should be same if we are
mhm,
using this method. So the drop down of the country should be the must be the header of the other list, then only this hierarchy will come. So yeah, if I'll write South Africa here, then it will come in the same manner. So that is the method we have to do. Like if I'll change here, now it will not work because it has already been created. So I have to remove it, then I'll write the South Africa, then it will work like that only.
Yeah, please do it now. We at least I want to see how does it work.
Okay, because as I remember, if I'll change here, now it is not, it will not work. I need to remove, but let us try, maybe it will work, because we don't have list here. So I think we have to create the list again. We can do right directly here. I'm giving the name to it only, maybe it will work. South Africa formula name manager. I can delete it. I can add new South Africa. Okay, close. Let me check. Now it is coming. Let me check. It is still not coming. Yeah, because yeah, that's what I observed earlier also. If I create it like differently, then it doesn't come. I have to create it with this list only, then this indirect function works as per my understanding. So if I'll create the whole of this, then it will again start working. So let me try. Top row, yes. Now I have created the list again. I will clear all. I have cleared all the validation. Then I will again put the validation. Hopefully it will work now. List. And this is equal to direct B1. Nothing. Coming correct. It is coming correct. Oh, it is not coming. Still not coming. There's some error. I think I have to remove this validation also. Then I have to put. So should I do it now? Or
No, you can leave. Okay, yeah, it's up to you. It's up to you. If it can be done quickly, you can do it. Otherwise, you can leave it.
yeah, I can do, because I was thinking that time is already 11:43. That's why. So first I'll clear it. Clear all. Okay. I'll clear all. I hope it will work now. All okay. There's no validation now. Yeah, we have 4 lists. Country, COUN, okay. India, South Africa, India. Yeah, lists are showing properly. So hopefully now it will work.
Ma'am, I have a question.
Yes.
How that sequence have changed in that list? It should be India, USA, South Africa. Now it's showing India, South Africa, USA. No, in the top where B2 is written. Where B2 is written.
B2 here, India.
In the
Top
formula column.
top left in formula side. Where
Yeah.
B2 is written in formula side, their sequence has changed. How it is happened? India, South Africa, USA.
Okay.
And
Maybe.
Order.
underscore is there.
Yeah.
Perhaps alphabetical order.
Yeah, maybe because earlier we have
Oh, it's alphabetical order it has taken.
yeah, maybe that is like that. Because
Uh,
earlier I have created this list separately. That's why it was showing maybe in the last, but now
oh,
it can be alphabetically.
oh,
So let me try last time. Maybe it will work now. List. And then we'll go to one, two. Actually, I have written the wrong spelling anywhere. COUNR 3Y. Okay. These are coming. Now I will create data validation list equal to indirect V1. I think it is showing some error. That is the issue or not? Yes, there is some problem. I think I will check it why it is not coming.
Okay.
Maybe 1 minute. I will select in some other cell, South Africa. Yeah, there's some problem. I need to check why it is not coming.
Fine.
So when I'm clicking on it, it should come. But yeah, there is some problem. I need to check why it is not coming. I'll tell after that. So that is the way we can create hierarchy. So here the user is restricted to enter only the states which are present in that country only. So that kind of we see these kind of validation are present in our daily life in normal systems, normal forms and all. So these are the only the basic things I'm showing, that how we create these kind of validation. So these are the basic Excel validation. We can remove the that we can refine it, like we can remove the blanks from the list, and then we can create multiple things and multiple hierarchies, like from a state to district, and go on like beyond that. So that kind of things we can create. And like we saw in the data validation tab only, there are multiple things to do in for the for validating the data. So we need this kind of validations in our systems. Yeah, so just I want to I have create these kind of examples I have just presented. Apart from that, there are some more tools, so we can there these are tools like SQL, or if we have some systems or software developed in which we write the SQLs to validate the data also. Like we can check whether in the from the SQL part also we can check if the data is correct or not. Like in the SQL we have brought like many type of queries and commands available for checking the different type of validation on the data. So this is also a tool for open refine glue data brew. And there's one tool I have not written here, that is Google Cloud Data Prep tool. So if someone is migrating their data from normal database to Google Cloud or some big data, so we have to validate that data also. In migration, in the transformation, the value can be lost, or some null value can come, or some wrong value can come, some garbage value can come. So we have to validate that data also before entering into a new system. So that kind of data validation are also required. And in that huge data we need we generally use a different kind of tools, which is which are especially designed for that system only. So like there are like very big type of solutions are there available for the data validation part. So yeah, that was a basic idea of data validation. So that's it from my side. Thank you all. If you have some questions, yeah, we can discuss that.
Yeah, I'm done with my questions. So Nikhil and Gyanti, do you have any questions to ask?
No, sir, I don't have any question, but today's class was really good.
I was just learning from you people, so mostly I don't have any question.
Yeah, me too. But it
That
was
very
really
useful, I must
interesting.
say. Yes,
I
yes.
think
Yeah,
Excel is
I
like
did not know
a
it.
whole book.
Yeah.
Yeah, we
Yes.
can do many things on Excel.
I have seen so many new things I don't have any idea about.
I also.
So can these things also be done in numbers?
Means what? I didn't.
Numbers is the Excel version of Mac.
I didn't use numbers. You can try numbers. Obviously, it can be. It should be there. Data validation is very basic thing of Excel, so
Mm-hmm.
it should be there.
Okay, okay.
Maybe the name is
In
different. You have to search what is the name of that icon, like that menu.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
options are less, but we can use Excel in our Mac also, no, sir?
But it is paid.
No, actually, options are less. I have a free thing, but paid version have everything.
Oh,
But
but
I
it won't
cannot
open
use
in my
every
case.
option.
It won't open in my case. I can only see the documents, but cannot make any changes in the documents, and also I cannot create new documents.
Hmm. In numbers, graphical representations are very good, but I am having very big problem in creating documents.
Mm-hmm. Okay, maybe there are some solutions on the internet. Okay, anyway, so okay, so the next is my turn. So perhaps I will. I think I'll let's see, but let's say I'll talk about flat lambda CDM. So I'll talk more about cosmology in my, or I'll say okay, I should not unveil the secret or whatever the surprise. So the next is my turn. So we'll meet you on next Sunday then.
Okay, sir.
Okay, goodbye then.